Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I'm working again on my Roxy Journal of Stitchery field notes, volume 6, and I'm sort of covering two prompts here is the way this has become. Because it's a 2-page spread, I've got the nest and I've got spring blossoms. This beautiful piece of fabric was sent to me by Denise. Hey Denise. And it just is just too gorgeous not to capture my little willy wagtails that are in my garden. So what I've done so far is I've stitched the nest and I've seed stitched the background. Now what I did with the seed stitch is I went through and stitched everything together in the way of I added some felt at the back. When I did the video, I only had the calico and then the piece of fabric. And when I went to sit down on the couch, it was just too floppy in my hands. So I went and found just a fine flannel that's come from inside something. I don't know where that's come from. I only have a small piece of it. So it was just enough to sort of to do that. Then I started skipping all over the place. Oh my goodness, I'm going to cough, I think. Sorry, guys. Skipping all over the place to secure the new layer to my work. Now what that did is I thought, well, I actually don't mind that, just a smattering of seeds everywhere. And then I was quite intense with my seed stitching around the birds and the flowers. I feel like I need more through here, but I thought I'm just going to stop at that and see what comes out of these blossoms. Because at the end of the day, it's about the nest and the blossoms, and the willy wagtails are sort of, in the background, so to speak. So what I've got beside me are the bits and pieces I had in the last video. I found those beads. I thought these little coppery ones might be nice scattered around the little blossoms. So I've got those. I've also got my 3-dimensional blossoms that I had salvage from the scraps that are going to be worked in to help disguise the fact that there's little birdie bits around the perimeter, the willy wagtails that didn't make it. So yeah, so today's video, I want to work out how this is all going to play out with blossoms is basically what I want to do. So what I might do first is I want to work a blossom. I want to see where we go with the blossoms. So I'm looking for a thread colour that I at least have a little bit of. 221 looks like it's rare. 309 might be a better one. And then there's 4. I'll keep it fresh. And I've got plenty of 309. I can see it there as well. Okay, so starting at the back. And I want them chunky, so I'm not going to break this down, as in I'm going to use the 6 threads. A, it'll be quicker. B, it'll give me a thicker finish. I've got my crewel needle here, number 22. Now I'm going to assume they're all covered in some way, whether it be fabric, lace, and additional little petals. So I'm just going to drop into this one and do some random stitches. Am I going to do a knot? Yeah. My husband's on the phone. You can probably hear a voice chatting. Yeah, like that. Nice and chunky. Then I might pick a paler. And like I said in the last video, I don't need to stitch every blossom. I'm going to just focus. Great English. You can hear my English teachers over my shoulder. I'm going to focus just on this side for now and see what comes of it all. nice and random. Don't try and make it too pinwheel. Corrine. Dark colours first. Goodness me, I feel a bit cack-handed today. I've just finished filming the Stitch the Seasons video that you watched on Friday. The Friday just gone, so I thought, oh, I really feel like stitching more. I moved everything from the video to the couch, and then I thought I'm going to just do this next video because I just feel like playing some more. And there's Fudgy, he's out and about. So there's some nice big chunky stitches. So we've got a couple options. We could fill the centre with beads, Fudgy. So I'll leave that threaded there. Now I feel like I could slide some more little daintier stitches in. What could we use? Here's a wool. No, that's crewel. Oh yeah, crewel thread. Let's try that. It's pretty random. I will need that needle back. I won't put a knot this time because the beads will be scattered. So I might just do random stitches in behind, a little bit finer, and sneak in behind. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I could even come through with a cream, I think. Don't think I want to go any darker in stitching. I think I'd rather bring some beads into the centre to make them more interesting. It's getting a bit pinwheely, so try and make it random, Corrine. I think the brain, doesn't it find it hard to do random? You want to line things up without realising. That's better. I can hear the willy wagtails. They're just outside my door. Well, the male. Don't see the girls much. My suspicions, due to the activities I saw a couple of weeks back, the girls are sitting on eggs. We had some shocking amount of rain last week. I hope they all made it. I hope they got a plug hole in the bottom of their nest so when the water comes in they can pull the plug and release the water. Yeah, that's going to be great. It's very vibrant. Now, I might see if Reg is nearby and we'll thread up Reginald. Oh, they're fine beads. I might have to go finer than Reg. I think I need a bit of cream in amongst that pink as well. Yeah, I think I could play with cream. Maybe that one. Just to add a little bit extra interest there. Just bear with me as I pop a few creamy stitches in. It's finer than, oh yeah. Like it's a detail that probably no one will ever notice, and I've just created 6 hours extra work for myself. But I need a finer needle head. This is a crewel needle and the thread's just going to fall out on me. Yeah, I think that is just going to make it look a little bit more interesting. So I'm just going to bounce a bit of light around. I was hoping some Australian native floral elements would come into my journal, because outside my fence is a lot of Australian native things. I'm yet to bring a grevillea flower into my work. And there's Banksias growing wild in the national park behind me. There's a lot of wattle in flower at the moment. Not so much around me. Having said that, the council has planted some plants on my footpath. Some trees when they did the development. And the one, well, I've got 2 trees to the side of my block on the footpath. And the one has got these beautiful yellow flowers. And I'm sure it's an acacia wattle, something like that, but we're not sure. I might go grab a photo of it and put it at the end of the video, and if there's anyone out there that really knows their plants, you might know what it is. I could use a Google plant identifier too. But what I might do is I'm going to put the photo at the end of the video. You guys can have a guess. I'll try and find out exactly what it is. I'd be able to show it to my nurseryman down the road. He's very clever. And I'll let you know in the next video what it turned out to be. I've run out of thread and I only need a little bit more. That's really good. That's thickened up the background and softened back the lolly pink. Oh yeah, aren't you pretty? I just need to finish it. Sorry guys, I'm going to finish that. That was reasonably quick, so maybe it won't be an extra 6 hours just to stitch. Now, Reg is next, if Reg will do the job and get those coppery toned beads. All right. So that and that are a definite for my blossoms. They're a definite. They're going to come in on top of the pieces. Stitching wise, they'll probably just have beads to secure them, but let's one step at a time. Oh, look at that colour. Look, I just spotted that across the table. Just going to keep that. Let's get a bead needle. Where's Reg? Is that Reg? These are 9mm beads. Just going to make sure. Yep. Don't think it's Reg. For those of you who are new and you're wondering, who the heck is she talking to now? Reginald is my thin bead needle that bites me regularly because he's a nasty little piece of work. There he is. All right, let's use Reg. He's got a bend in him so that he can go around corners. He's talented. Is he? Hey, Fudgy. He's the only needle I've named because we've got a love-hate relationship. I can't even thread him. Hey, Fudge. Fudge has had breakfast and now he's come to Yibba Yabba. He was sitting on Gaz's lap, being a good boy, but now he's made his way back in here to me. Come on, Reg. Right, that's it. I don't have time for Reg. Just need a slightly bigger head. Test it first, girl. Nothing worse. Nope. I'm going to have to persist. Sorry, guys. I'm using Aurifil thread too. It's a little bit, I don't know, harder to thread, I reckon, than the old Gutermann thread. It's very quick to fluffy at the end. I don't know if you guys find that. I picked it up when I was in Ballarat because I'd never seen it before, and you hear all about it in the quilting world. And I thought, oh, I'll grab a pale and a dark. I go through meters of thread, so I will persist and use it. Okay, now what I want to do is just scatter. I don't want to go too dense with them because it'll look like a ring of beads. So I just want to, just a couple, keep it dainty. 2 stitches per bead. Yes, Grandma, I'm doing that. The wedding dressmaker. You don't want the bride to rub her arms against her bodice of her wedding dress and beads to fall off. Oh, they're going to be great. Really, really good. So that dark burgundy tone that I picked up could be French knots in the centre of the flower. But I'm wondering if it's going to disappear a little bit. You know, when tones are similar and you put in the effort of stitching something, you're like, well, why can't I even see it? You can probably hear it drill. The workmen are back working in the shed, installing the metal channeling that the gyprock attaches to. They've been here over a week. They must go home so weary in the arms, like holding the drill and pushing into metal screws. Maybe it's better than what I imagined, but they must go home absolutely muscle weary, like I am when I'm stitching. All right, I'm loving that. My question is, what do we do in the middle? I think it needs to be beads. I think I want the shimmer. I'm going to end that off. And I'm going to come up in the middle here. Have I got a bead? Oh, hang on. What about? I'm dipping into some beads sitting to the side. No, I think I want a darker colour. Hang on, guys. Let's see what's in this little tray. These I got from Spotlight. Quite a nice little palette of flowers. Maybe I can go more of a magenta. Maybe just 3. Hey, Fudgy. Let's see. Can't really see them. Like they're okay. Fudgy, what's going on? Don't you like them? Like I can see them, but I bet you guys can't. What would happen if I popped one of these in there with it? Can always undo it. Fudgy. All right, let's give Fudgy a cuddle. Come on, Fudgy. Down to us. The cat needs some attention. Say hello, everyone. You okay? You okay? Yeah, bit of Fudgy time. Yeah, rub those jowls. You're very distracting. All right. Pussy's had enough now because he's pulling away from me. So he's going to like disappear because he was thinking, well, that wasn't that much fun. That's helped. Yeah, that's actually helped a lot. It's just thickened up the colour palette in there. Bounced a little bit of light around. Yeah, I don't mind that. Okay. Oh, fudge, you again. So 3 little magentas and 3 little copper ones will be the recipe for the centre. Like, I keep glancing at this. Gosh, talk about make it complicated. These are like a little gold. This might bounce a little bit more light in there. Yeah. Gosh, now I'm going to have beads all over my couch because I've just made this more complicated. 3 little see-through-y gold ones. What is that? Fluff. Okay. Well, I'm happy with that. And what I might do, when I do a add-in flower, like one of these, I might just use the beads. And they're going to look odd, I think. I don't know. I think once that's all stitched, maybe that'll look wrong. It's got quite embroidered. That's quite loose. Maybe I'll keep them for the perimeter. I don't know. Best laid plans, maybe going awry. But that's a definite. I don't think I need that. Nope. Put it back where you got it from. Okay. What about these? What could we do with these? These are like little flowers. Oh, I don't mind them. No. Leave it. Put them away. Walk away from the sequins. Right, that's it. Now, leaves. What are we going to do with these leaves? I don't think I want to make them 3-dimensional. I think I just want to stitch into them. So I've got my blues here. Can I find a blue that can... Do we want a matchy or do we want a slight different, wouldn't expect it colour? I'm thinking we go this. We're going to pop it up a little bit. 3 threads. Looks pretty good to me. There's Reg. Keep him to one side. And that needle. Let's grab another needle. So, leaves. What are we going to do? We could do a feather stitch or a fly stitch down this guy. He's plain. Oh, it's come unthreaded. The other ones are a bit trickier because they're just all stripy already. And I like the stripe. Maybe I don't need to do anything to them. And just do the plain. There's only a few plain on the piece. So I'm doing a fly stitch here, keeping it straight. Yeah, that'll work. There is this what would it look like if I took this blue? I just had an idea. See Willie's tail here? I went hunting and I do not have black ribbon. Just doesn't exist. I don't have a lot of black fabric that is fine enough to cut to make his tail feathers. But I do want to embellish him. What would it look like with a bit of blue thread stitched into Willie's tail feathers? Would that look odd? using the same stitch I just did then on those leaves. He's got blue going through his wing. I think that's why I looked across at him. See that there? What if we embellished him somewhat with some blue stitching? Would that be weird? Let's just do one tail feather and see. Good old stranded cotton separates. Goodness me, is that a sign not to proceed, I wonder? A knot? Oh, you. Come on. If I was a proper embroiderer, I would have separated those 3 strands, laid them down in my hands, eased them into joining together, and then knotted, threaded. But I'm not a formal embroiderer. I'm a backyard embroiderer that picks up tips here and there and tries to apply them, but most likely forgets. What's going on? Let's start again. See, if you were formally trained, what a knot. You get the 3 of them and you lay them separately and then bring them back together. Takes the tangle out of it. And if you're doing something like cross stitch, they're all different lengths already. It'd be highly recommended because then you'd have your threads laying nicely. I still got a dog's ear of a knot. Anyway, look away, those formally trained. So what I'm thinking is doing a fly stitch down his black little. Oh, I know it'll look good. Please just stay in the needle. Oh my goodness. If I had have selected a number 8 crewel pearl cotton or something, yeah, number 8 pearl cotton, I wouldn't be struggling with this stranded cotton. But the colour's gorgeous. It's got a vibrancy about it. Oh yeah. The other thing is, I don't have to follow the black print too. I could go freeform and outside. Might make it too messy. He's only little. It might be too overpowering on his little tail feathers. But just a thought. I know you guys like the thoughts that come into my head when I'm planning my stitching. I like that. I think that stripe there is probably too small to stitch. So what I might do there is maybe reduce this thread down to 2 strands. And do the same stitch but just over everything there. Maybe I'll bring it black in. Or what about a dark grey? That at least would... This colour blue really picks up on the ocean front cover of my journal. That's a definite. Look at that. Now, what could I do else? What about this colour? It's like a steely grey. 2 strands. Don't think this is DMC. This feels a bit odd. What are you? Goodness knows what. Goodness knows what. It feels like it's not, what do they call it when they run the fibres and they get shiny, a bit of a luster. It starts with M. Can't think of the word. This thread, I need a bigger eye. I'm creating drama for myself. This thread feels more organic. It's not machined. Is it Mercer? I don't know. Can't think. Can't even thread the needle. What is going on? That's better. See, it's fluffy. Oh, seriously. Okay. So I think we've got a bit of a plan of attack for the willy wagtails. The other thing is I could just work him and leave them. They're the girls. Make the lad. What would we do here? I think we can do the same stitch. But I have a feeling I need 1 thread. Yeah, I think this will be too thick. This is 2. I don't know. Keep going. I think it's only 2 threads, but because it's not shiny, it's laying just as thickly as that DMC of 3 threads. So I'm going to break that down again into 1, just to prolong the agony of knowing if this is going to work or not. Pretty sure it will. I'm confident that I can do a little bit of feather stitch, fly stitch, not feather stitch. Feather stitch is where it's wonky, isn't it? It is. Where's my Jennifer books? If I've got that wrong, I do apologise. I'm sure the embroidery police will soon let me know. Not that that happens very often. I think most of you have given up on Corrine getting it right. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? It's a little bit messy there, girl. That grey is good. That's just given it a little bit of definition. Oh, that is so messy. See, I'm going all wonky. I think you get the general gist. I'm going to need to undo that because that is going to bug me. Just look away while I sort myself out here. I'm sure you're all stitching. Or you got ear pods in and you're vacuuming. Or doing housework. What is going on there? Oh, I really jiggered this stitch up. As they would say, we'll just edit that out. But we won't because we couldn't be bothered. Editing takes time. And the girl doesn't have time. Okay, let's start again. Let's think like an embroiderer that has skill. Jennifer will be shaking her head. Let me now just get that needle right where it needs to be. Thank you. Just do 3. I don't want to overpower that itty bitty little wing feather there. It's tricky. When the birdies are so small, you've either got to just go for it and completely lose them under stitch, or if you're highlighting them, you've just got to be mindful that he is dainty. There we go. We have a dainty little feather. I like that. So I don't want to lose that blue line. But I think he could handle another one, but we won't follow the artwork, I think. We'll find our own place down the centre of those two. So we're adding like another feather. Yeah, that's good. Just a little detail. And my feeling is once I do the blue in his tail, I think I'll come through with this thread again and drop a few over the top. Of the tail feathers. It's nice and fine, this. I like it. I like it. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, happy with that. What else? Yeah, I think I'll do the blue down here, then I'll bring this over it again, just to sort of drift it around. Then I need to think about him himself. Do I bring black stitching in? I don't want him to get too more cartoony than what he is. I think I'll leave it at that. So back to these here. What if they were outlined? Or do they not need to be? There's a lot of them. What if they were outlined in that? Let's have a look. Sometimes bringing in more colour can be detrimental to your piece. Detrimental. Maybe we use this grey from Willie and do something. What about... I'm just thinking through all the stitches. I could do stem stitch, which would have given us a nice rolled edge, but I think it'd look too thick. I could do split back stitch, but I've only got one thread, so to split it might be tricky, but at least it would be a flat. Let's try that first. I could do running stitch, but I think it needs to be a continuous line. See, now split back stitch, I've got to go right through that stitch. Oh yeah, that works. I can do it. It's painfully thin. Yeah, that's fine. See, that, to me, that leaf is really dainty. Those little white lines, I don't want to muddy them up with thickness. So I think this is going to work. And it ties this grey into here, this bluey grey. Okay. Ooh, but I've got to split it. So if I miss it, like I did there, it's going to be very obvious. It's got it. See, when you outline it too, maybe then you can come up with a stitch that could also be added, because now you've got a bolder looking leaf. I could just about put a magnifying glass over that. That is going to be, see, I missed too big of a stitch. I've got a curve there. I need to back that down to a smaller bite of a stitch. I'm rushing and not noting that there is a bit of a curve. So I need to nibble into there. There we go. That's better. Now, another other thing I wanted to do is I wanted tatting to be stitched into the branches that the little birds are standing on. And I wasn't sure at the time if we could, because I didn't know how thick and bulbous the blossoms were going to be. But I think the piece can handle the tatting. So let's do that next to make sure that that's going to... See, now that that's stitched, maybe I can be a little bolder. Oh, gosh, I tell you, another 6 hours work's just been added to this piece. Stitch the odd vein in. Yes. I won't follow the pattern. I'm just going to do a couple random stitches in. I won't be on all of them because that one there might look a bit odd because it's twisting, so that might just be... It makes me want to put a stitch up here too. See how it just evolves? Yeah. I'm going to play with those leaves a little bit. That's good. And that little thread is the willy thread, so that's going to mush it all together. The little wagtails. Yeah, it's going to drift that up a little bit. Okay. So willy wagtail stitching is into the leaves as well. Now, this tatting. I'd love that to be in amongst it. Just to bring the... I need some thread that's not that dark. Where's my cottons all gone? Good old Guterman. I've got a phone call coming in. But that's okay. It's all good. They can wait. I know who it is, so I can call them back. Alrighty. Now, this tatting is sitting quite well. It's not twisting too much. We'll cover his feet, but I'm okay with that. It's just a bit of a detail that I think I need in it, because I want to collage, you know, bits of lace and pieces into it around the borders. And how are we going for time? Like, time flies. Oh, goodness me. So let's get this stitched in. Come on. So I'd probably only need here, maybe a bit through there. If I collage laces down there, that whole corner will disappear. So yeah, a little bit there. This one, that one, and maybe this one over here. We'll see. He's covering his little feet a little, but I don't think I want to stitch his feet, because then his feet will look bigger than him, and then you've got to consider stitching him some more to get it back into proportion. So I think we're going to just let the feet go. There we go. A little bit of tatting there. messages coming in now from Chelsea. Better double check it's not super important. Yep, no rush. All right. Yeah, I like that. Then this little piece will pick up here. So let's try and stitch him down. Then as for the edges, what are we going to do? I've got all these lacy bits here. And I've got birdie bits to cover. Maybe we address that in the next video, because I sort of feel like I've got enough here to do before I start framing it. And that'll give me a moment just to sort of think it through once I know what all that's going to look like. Does that make sense? And then whether the lacy bits that I'm talking about come more into the image. Maybe it sort of drifts up into here. So I think I need to get my blossoms done. I'm not sure what day you're watching this video, because I'm probably about 4 days before you guys see it. And I'm not sure how my week is going to pan out. So once again, this might drift into we now know the next prompt, or who knows. So we'll just play it by ear, no pressure. Then if I get a good night's stitching tonight, I might literally be back filming, ready for, you know, the next. Oh, I just lost that thread. It was too small anyway, Corrine. Stop using scrappy bits and give yourself a decent length. Sneaky knot. Okay, there's a bit of a stain there, but I'm okay with that because it'll be covered anyway with blossom stitches, no doubt. It's probably good I'm doing this because then that blossom there can come forward and this will be tucked in behind. There we go. I do need to stitch that blue leaf, but I'll be able to sneak behind this tatting so that it looks like it's, you know, in the background. And if the tatting is curling on you, a few sneaky little stitches will hold it down. Sometimes they are messy looking, but this one's pretty good. Whoever made it had a nice hand. I'll just come past a little bit like that. Now I'm just going to come back and catch this guy down. He's just standing up a little bit. So a couple little sneaky stitches. Just that one's a bit up too, so I'm going to sneak up here and catch you down. Just loosely catching. I still want it to feel like it's, you know, flapping in the breeze and not close to the hour now. I think we will do this little guy. I'm sure those who are over it have moved on. But those of you who are stitching are still sitting and listening. Now I'll go and grab that photograph of that yellow blossom on the tree on my footpath, and I'll pop that at the end of the video now and see what you guys think it is. I'm pretty sure it's a wattle, part of the acacia family, but I'd love to know exactly, because the council has planted all these trees. Some people have got bottle brushes further down and they are in mass flower. I've got a yellow something. The other tree, I have no idea what that is. It hasn't flowered yet either, so it's got a big leaf, and it honestly looks like it might make a beautiful shade tree in its future. So I'd be interested to see what that plant is too, but there's no blossom, so it's not as easy. Finish it before you snick it, girl. Okay. This is a fancy bush that these little guys are living in. Tatting his branches, goodness sakes. It's very lush. You can break all the rules with slow stitch, can't you? All right. Do we want a little piece there? Oh, I think we might. And then I'll go, I promise. Okay, let's bring you up there. Couple little stitches. Okay, let's see where that tatting is going to end. Right there. Oh, such a pretty piece of fabric. I couldn't have picked this one any better. Thank you, Denise. Like, seriously. I do recall seeing this somewhere. I'm not sure what year this was printed, but I just have a feeling I've seen it before. It's funny how fabric finds you. There we go. I'm glad I did all those branches, because that's now going to set the tone for all of the blossoms. Yeah, that's good. Oh, love it. All right, guys, I will leave it at that, because I think the next thing will be, how am I going to, bring in other textures like so, just to make the page more interesting, picking up on some other colours just to close it in, and I'll be aiming for all the birdie bits. And it might be a case I need to bring that fabric back and find a little bit of blue and just cover him, so then that is not fighting. Oh, I like that there. That's going there. That's going to go right there. I'll just pin it, because I need to make the black bird disappear. So I'm going to need to put some blue fabric in under that. But that gives you a bit of a general idea. All right. yeah, all right, I'm going to say goodbye, and I will, actually, I haven't shown you the piece that we did for the Edith journal. Hang on, you haven't seen this finished. Here we go, all done, all stitched. Thread painting using wools, and then I popped in a little bit of the ribbon to pick up on the blue on the butterfly. Got a little morsel up here which is the colour palette, the napkin in the background. Love how that gives us I guess a professional print on a plain fabric. Some lace, yeah, and I stitched around the little piece there. That is from England. Susanna confirmed that that little morsel is England. That's a little bit of Japanese fabric with some stitching through. So I'm calling that one done. I could add some words and things, which I probably will do. But we'll catch that in another video another day. All right, guys, look after yourselves, and I shall see you around. Bye.